Hello. Hold on.
Oh, look at it. She bought that. Period.
What's the craziest conspiracy theory you think about, but you wouldn't tell nobody?
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
You got one type there? Craziest conspiracy theory.
I can't.
Pizzagate. They all did that shit. They got the island. Yeah. Bill Gates. Goddamn. The first lady. Goddamn the Trump. Yeah. All of them. They
Trying to
it.
Hey, what's your worst breakup story?
My worst breakup story? I caught him in bed cheating and I whooped that.
Oh man. That's sad. All right, next question. What's heavier, a pound of pillows or a pound of pennies?
A pound of pennies.
Pound of pennies. This is the last one.
He can't even say it. He's getting down.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Yo, welcome to the New Number Podcast. I want to tell everybody thank y'all for tuning in. Today we got a fire topic. We're going to be talking about Joe Biden pardoning his son, Hunter Biden. The reason we're going to be talking about this is because Joe Biden has said in plenty of occasions, even his press secretary said that he was not going to pardon his son. We got to understand there are rules for thee, but not rules for me. That is the topic of the day. Rules for thee, but not rules for me. And when you understand how the lingo is and the power dynamics work, you'll be better off as a person in America. Because Americans, I'm going to say this again, are dumb, and we have the power of majority, but we still let a small group of people lead and tell us how we're going to be dictated and ruled in America. We're going to talk about The View, how the views take on it. We're going to talk about Stephen A. Smith take on it. We're going to be talking about Donald Trump's message to the Biden crime family. We're going to be talking about how South Korea issued martial law. We're going to talk about some kids stealing out of the Nike outlet. We have a lot of things on the docket for today. And like I said, I got a bunch of videos and compilations that I just want to talk about. Y'all put in the comment section how y'all feeling today. Say you feeling great, say you feeling good. Put in the comment section where you from. I got a question for everybody that's watching right now. If your child was going to prison and you had the power to pardon them, would you pardon them? Put a 1 in the chat for yes, put a 2 in the chat for no. If you had the power to pardon your child, put a 1 in the chat for yes, put a 2 in the chat for no. Now, my take on this is different before we get into it. My take on this is if my child was about to go to prison and I had the power to pardon them, I don't care what the hell they did, unless it was just something really, really crazy like rape, then I would probably be like, bro, more than likely, I'm just gonna be like, I can't agree with that. But other things like a self-defense or what Hunter Biden was accused of, being high and buying a pistol, like, come on, bro. Like, I'm gonna go and get you out for that. But if I had the power, I'm going to pardon my son too. Also, am I looked at as a good parent? Like, am I a good parent for not allowing my child to go do certain things? Even if this is a 50-something-year-old man, 60-something-year-old man, am I still his parent? And am I still supposed to protect my child at all costs, no matter what age they are? Because no matter what age they are, they're still my child. So, like I said, my views on this is different. I just think him lying about it and saying, hey, I'm not going to pardon my son. I'm not going to pardon my son. His press secretary coming out saying he's not going to pardon his son. Everybody making everything about the rule of law. And then once again, they can't talk about Donald Trump being a convicted felon now, because you got to understand when these people have this type of power, and these people have this type of power, they can do whatever they want. And like I said, we as the American people, we allow a lot of the BS to go on instead of, gathering up our arms and going to knock some people's teeth out their mouth and making sure they get some act right, which we need to make sure we talk about. Because I keep telling y'all, Americans are dumb, Americans are stupid, and Americans are cowardice. We the only people talk about justice and believe in the justice system. But like I tell people, criminals don't care about the justice system. The reason I say that is because a lot of people always talk about, well, the crime in New York is bad, but they can't even have guns. I say, yeah, because the criminals don't care about it. I say it'll actually be done for you as a law-abiding citizen to stay in a place where you cannot carry guns to defend yourself, because now you have people who are lawless, who don't care about going to jail or prison, and they don't have anything to live for. Now they're out here in the everyday world with everyday individuals wreaking havoc on y'all, and y'all just think the police are going to protect y'all, and y'all need to take protection for yourselves in your own hands. I'm gonna say that again. You need to take protection for yourselves and put it in your own hands. So the first video we gonna watch today, we're gonna watch this one right here.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one 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 is above the law.
Oh, son of a bitch.
No one is above.
Class, what did we learn today? I'm gonna say it again. Class, what did we learn today? There are certain people that are above the law. Now, granted, the president does have this power to pardon people, so I guess they're not above the law or breaking the law, because Donald Trump did the same thing. But when Donald Trump did it, they said he was out here pardoning his criminal people, his fellows, his cronies. That's what they kept saying. They try to act like, oh my God, look at who Donald Trump is pardoning. He's pardoning all of his friends. And now here goes Joe Biden pardoning his son. This is the thing that we got to realize when it comes to everything that's going on with this situation. Both sides do bullshit. I'm going to say this again. Both sides do their bullshit. We can't be, the one thing I hate about after this election, how all the Democrats seem to try to have this moral high ground, as if you voted for Trump or you voted for the Republicans, you don't give a damn about morality, or you voted for a convicted felon. What are y'all talking about? Y'all are the people in the party that tell us that it's okay for men to go in the bathroom with young girls. Y'all are the party that tell us that a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy. Y'all are the party that need straight jackets, because I always say this: make straight jackets great again. That's what we need to do. Make straight jackets great again. And then the thing about Joe Biden that I don't like, we have a white man who was one of the people who passed the 94 crime bill that put a lot of black men in jail for the same things that he's going to talk about right here in this video.
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, 1/4 of $1, we passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years.
5 years is insane. Insane.
You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice. Under our forfeiture statutes, the government can take everything you own, everything from your car to your house, your bank account, not merely what they confiscate in terms of the dollars from the transaction that you've just got caught engaging in.
And see, this is how the government stay rich too, because instead of just taking what you caught me stealing, now you're trying to take everything that you done caught me stealing, or everything you done caught me doing while I was drug dealing. You want to take my house I done bought my mama when I bought her that 10 years ago and I just got caught today? This is insane.
They can take everything. I don't care why they become a sociopath. We have an obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society. They are in jail. Away from my mother, your husband, our families. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street.
And you know what's crazy about that? The American government flood our communities with drugs. You know, Whitney Houston said crack is whack, and just seeing Hunter Biden lighting up right there lets me know that crack can't be too whack. If you got somebody like Joe Biden's son who was on the board of Burisma getting all these millions of dollars, he didn't think crack was too whack. So Whitney, why did you think crack was too good for you? Now I know y'all gonna say stay out with Auntie Whitney, but I'm just trying to figure out how Whitney Houston thought crack was too whack for her, but Hunter Biden didn't think it was too whack for him. He like he was to me, he like he was enjoying himself. What y'all think? Like he was having a damn good time lighting up, smoking.
If you have, as we sit here,
smoking that motherfucking dope. That what it looked like. Like I said, I got plenty of videos, just plenty of videos pertaining to this.
As we sit here in Normandy, your son Hunter is on trial, and I know that you cannot speak about an ongoing federal prosecution. But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes. He has overcome an addiction. He's one of the brightest, most decent men I know.
Now, Joe Biden, the way his health deteriorated, he damn sure smoking crack with Hunter. They lighting up together. They getting high together. They touching on little girls together. They doing everything together, like father, like son. They say the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
You know, and I am satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Well, we got plenty of videos of even out of his own mouth say he won't pardon his son. Now, like I tell y'all, but I would definitely pardon my son. Like I said, my thing is, would you look at me as a good parent for pardoning my son, or would you look at me as a bad parent? Would you look at me as an enabler, or would you look at me as somebody maybe still thinking that I have some type of hope to save my child? Like this is, and the reason that I just can't just have a one-sided approach to this happening is because I'm a parent, and I feel like I would do a lot of things for my children to make sure they can have a better life. And I also believe in nepotism. I also believe if I work to put myself in certain situations, my children ain't got to do the same shit your children got to do. Same thing like a LeBron James. It's a lot of other kids that was way better than Bronny James, but we see he got to jump the line, and I'm okay with that because I'm LeBron James. I done worked up and I done built this status up and this money up and these relationships up to be able to do these things. Why wouldn't I do the same thing as Joe Biden? That's what you got to ask yourself. Why would I not do the same thing as Joe Biden? Being Joe Biden, the president of the United States, about to get up out of here. The thing is, I just don't like the hypocrisy from one side to the other when they all do the same thing. What's up, Brad? What's going on?
Crack cocaine. No bigger.
Your son Hunter is on.
So, next video we're going to play. I don't know why that video wants to keep playing. Next video we're going to play is this one right here.
For 6 years, MAGA Republicans, including members of the House committees who are in a closed-door session right now, have impugned my character, invaded my privacy, attacked my wife, my children, my family, and my friends. They have ridiculed my struggle with addiction. They belittled my...
Now, I'm just going to say this. in the black community, we always make fun of crackheads. We call them geek monsters. Where I'm from, in Birmingham, Alabama, we call them geek monsters. Like, we make fun of crackheads and the crackhead strength and the crackhead things that crackhead niggas do. So I don't know what about in the white family or how they look at drugs, but you're going to get cracked on if you're a crackhead smoking out this crack pipe doing crackhead things. I'm just saying. Do y'all remember that DVD that came out called Crackheads Gone Wild? Y'all remember that? That was a funny DVD. And me and my homeboy used to sit and just be bored, and we would get high. We would get high marijuana though. We didn't smoke crack, something that came from the ground. But we would get high on marijuana and sit there and watch Crackheads Gone Wild all the time. It was a Brad crazy, but yeah, it was a good time. But like I said, this is a person that is a crackhead. So like I said, him getting upset at people making fun of him having an addiction. That's what black people do. We make fun of crackheads. You know, we do. We make fun of crackheads. It is what it is.
Recovery, and they have tried to dehumanize me, all to embarrass and damage my father, who has devoted his entire public life to service.
They didn't try to embarrass your father. You embarrassed your father. Let's be real. You out here smoking crack. You out here smoking crack, recording yourself, and then do crackhead things like send the laptop of you smoking said crack to a computer store, to get the laptop fixed, not knowing that you would be looked at or somebody will see the laptop of all of these things that you were doing. And then we're going to talk about the laptop because we have so much to talk about today, far as we're going to go back and look at Mark Zuckerberg talking about the FBI coming to him, telling him to not promote or push the things about the Hunter Biden laptop. And we're going to segue into South Korea because South Korea have just went into martial law. But the next video, we're going to play this one right here. We got videos all day long of them saying that Joe Biden will not pardon his son.
Second one, will the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear and I said no.
Okay. Let me go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
We did. You've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute the sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no. And I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
So, like I said, we have a lot of people talking about this. Brad, you said the fact that Joe went all the way back to 2014 lets us know that he is hiding something. What do you think he's hiding? That's what I need to know. What do y'all think that Joe Biden is trying to cover up for his son or trying to hide from his son? Because we already know y'all was getting paid under the table from Burisma and China and all these other places. We know that for a fact. We know that for a fact. Let's see what Stephen A had to say. But if you're watching right now, y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. And if you want to help out the channel, hit the Cash App or hit the Super Chats. Let's go.
What's your take on the pardon?
You know, the Biden situation disgusted me in terms of the parting only from this standpoint, Chris. Nobody on the planet, you want to be a cynic and you want to act like you would be offended by something like that if you're one of those people out there, fine. But no one within reason would have a problem with him saying, it's my son. I love him. There's no way I'm sending him to jail. And I have the power to avoid it.
Right. That's all you had to say. Nobody would look at you crazy. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, when you said you weren't pardoning your son, I was like, you kind of look like a shitty ass parent right now. Or I took the view of maybe you just tired of his shit, because this is a damn near 60-something-year-old man. He's probably been the fuck up his whole life. So you might be tired of all of the shenanigans and the antics that your son has put y'all family through. Even so much so when you running for president, that laptop gets leaked because you so geeked out your mind, you thought it was a good idea to go take this laptop of you doing all this crazy shit to just a random pawn shop person, when you know you have people like Hillary Clinton that you can go and talk to, because she knows how to delete emails and stuff. I'm pretty sure she has a safe person that everybody in the government uses, so they ain't got to worry about their stuff getting leaked. You don't just go to no other crackhead that owns a computer store and let them use your fix your laptop. That was insane.
Nobody would blame him for that. But that's not where he went. So I didn't have a problem to answer your question directly with the decision that he made to pardon his son. Boo Boo the Fool knew he was going to do that. I don't care who he stood in front of or sat in front of and said that he wasn't going to pardon his son and he was just going to go by the letter of the law. Please, everybody and their grandmother knew he was going to pardon his son. But to come out and to start talking about how it's been a witch hunt and the Department of Justice and others were after him, or whoever it was, and the GOP rather was after him. Well, wait a minute. What have y'all been doing with Donald Trump all of these years? Now, you can make an argument about the legitimacy of the cases against Donald Trump compared to what wasn't legitimate, et cetera. That's not the point. The point is it was clearly politicized. You had folks on the left who were hell-bent on going after Donald Trump because they were determined to make sure that he couldn't run for re-election, or that these elements would get in the way of him possibly winning re-election. And now we know why more than ever, because they weren't confident they would ever be able to beat him. He'd been a Republican.
Right. Y'all are definitely weaponizing the government and the DOJ and the FBI to go after y'all political opponents. So don't get mad when people come after your family when y'all both are hidden below the belt. When y'all are raiding Mar-a-Lago over, listen to this, y'all are raiding Mar-a-Lago because y'all said Trump has issues that documents that he did not declassify or go through the right channels or protocols. And then 2 months later, Joe Biden did the same exact thing, had shit from when he was a senator. Turns it over, and y'all only excuse is, well, Joe Biden, he offered it up, so we're not gonna press charges against him. What? Well, both of them broke the law. So if I steal some, one man, he don't turn himself in, but if I turn myself in, you gonna let me go? No, you're not gonna do that. Let's keep it all the way 100.
Nominee since 2016. He beat Hillary Clinton with the Electoral College vote. He wouldn't concede defeat in 2020, but he did receive over 74 million votes at that particular moment in time. And then you fast forward 4 years later, despite the 34 felony convictions, the 2 impeachments, the bevy of crimes that he had been accused of, the Republican voters out there, the conservative voters out there, and a lot of independents from various communities said, he's the guy we want. And I've said it on many, many occasions. It wasn't about him, just like it wasn't about Biden in 2020. It was more against Trump. In this particular instance, it was an indictment against the Biden administration, what had been going on for the last 4 years.
If y'all watching, would you have pardoned your child? Put a 1 in the comment section for yes. Put a 2 in the comment section for no. Would you have pardoned your child if you had the power to do so?
Things going on with the border, obviously inflation, of course, crime in the streets, of course, woke and cancel culture and all of that, it all played a role. And so for him to come out and to talk about that, this was a witch hunt, when clearly it could be argued that's exactly what you were doing to Donald Trump, or you assisted in doing, seems beyond hypocritical. And that was what disgusted me. It wasn't his decision. It wasn't him pardoning his son. It was the weak, pathetic explanation that he gave, which has most critics just shaking their heads and raising their eyebrows and saying, what nerve you have.
What's your take on?
I 100% agree. And like I said, I agree with Stephen A. Smith. And I would have came out and told y'all straight up, hey, look, bro, it's my child. You already know I'm finna pardon my child. Why would you look at me as a piss poor parent for me to just I got the power to do something, and you think I'm finna just let my child go rot in jail? You crazy. You out your rabbit ass mind if you think I'm finna let something happen like that. Like I said, it might have to be something really extreme. You are a terrorist and you blew up 100 people, or you just went around here clubbing people on the top of their head with your Peter Walker, and you just out here, raping people or something. Those are the extreme cases. But for what Hunter Biden went to jail for or convicted of, if I'm not mistaken, is because he's a drug addict and he lied on the application about getting a gun. So yeah, I don't think Joe Biden did anything wrong with it. It's just a lie. And what's going to hurt the Democratic Party even more is y'all already got all this shit on y'all face from the Kamala Harris campaign and how she ran for presidency and losing all this money and showing that she's not a good steward or don't make good decisions about how the money should be spent or the people that should be put in front of us to persuade us to vote for her. Now y'all are out here as a party that lies and just makes up things, because if you don't like somebody, you can make a case or get the people behind you to make other people look bad when you're going to do the same exact thing. Yes, I'm pardoning my son too. Like I said, it's crazy that this man came out here and act like he wouldn't. That was the wild thing to me, because I'm pardoning my son. I don't care what nobody say. I am pardoning my son, so who cares? I'm about to die anyway, especially if I'm that old. Like, I'm that old, see now, demented. I'm about to croak. So I'm not finna sit here and just let you sit in jail when I got the power. They can say what they want to say about me. I'll be dead and gone. I can't hit them from the grave. So the next thing we're gonna talk about is these crazy people right here. Y'all know the crazy people I'm talking about. The View. Now, the people from The View, they always have crazy takes, and these are just cackling hens. They don't really have anything of value or substance to offer anybody, but this is the program that always keeps giving bullshit after bullshit after bullshit, after legal note after legal note, after lies after lies, after more bullshit on legal notes and lies that they always have to push and promote. So when you're watching them, it should just strictly be for entertainment, to go back and fact check them to see, dang, they just really out here lying like this. I can't believe it. I'm flabbergasted that y'all would be so blatant in y'all lying. Like, we can't go and look these things up that y'all are lying about. If y'all watching the video, y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. Make sure y'all subscribe to all my social media platforms, especially Rumble. Like I said, we finna start reviewing fights on Rumble. We're gonna turn Rumble on up.
I respect it as a parent. I understand why he would do it, but I wanted to understand why lie about it for so long.
I'd stop calling it a lie.
Okay, why repeatedly say you're not going to and you do? And secondarily,
see, this is this disingenuous part of it. I would have to stop calling it a lie. What are you talking about? It's a lie. If you say you're not going to do something and you go back on it, that is a blatant lie.
for the part of this country, half of it that doesn't support Biden, doesn't know him personally, doesn't get to have phone calls, and they're just looking at a system that seems like it only benefits the people who are in power.
I'm going to say,
what precedent does that set?
Well, here's what it says. It's a precedent for all of us to open our eyes.
And we let this woman get on here looking like something from Alien versus Predator. Come on now, with this deep razz voice, this smoker voice. Like we talking about Hunter Biden being a crackhead. She has a pipe voice. Like if you ever been around crackheads, Whoopi Goldberg definitely has a pipe voice. She sounded like she lit up right before she came on stage.
Because we've elected someone who is in a similar situation, who didn't have a drug problem, who knew what he was doing, who clearly.
So how you know Donald Trump ain't got no drug problem? You piss tested him. You ran his toxicology report. Like, how can you say this? And it doesn't make it any better that you're saying that it's okay because we're dealing with a person that's taking drugs, and you are a black woman, and you know how drugs has decimated the black community. This is a wild take from a black woman in defense of a white man trying to belittle another white man, when in totality, you should just say, hey, from my community, I've seen what drugs has done. And I know that the government has placed drugs in my community to make to dismantle our households, to mess up our communities. So when we have these conversations about rich white men in these political spaces, this just them doing what white men do. This is just them or another day at the job.
Was stood and said, I can do this. And he did it. So I think for many, many reasons, this is very different than any other situation that we have ever dealt with.
And look at that lady's face. She like, I can't believe y'all let these dummies get on here. Y'all let these dummies get on here and state these stupid, crazy, loony opinions. And then y'all have people clapping in the background. I know y'all got to have a sign there that says clap or applaud, because what she said did not deserve a clap or an applaud or anything. Everybody should have been looking at Whoopi just like this lady was looking at her. Look at that face. This is how this lady like, bitch, please. So much so her eyebrows don't even look like they sisters or cousins right now. She got a people's eyebrows so bad, like she did them in the dark right now. She's squishing her face up that bad. Her top lip totally disappeared. Like, I don't agree with this take. So crackheads get away with stuff, but if you're not a crackhead, you don't get away with stuff. Well, what about the choices before you became a crackhead? What about the choices before you became a crackhead? Because Hunter Biden sat there and had a choice to say, should I do this crack or should I not do this crack? That is the answer. Mirror, mirror on the wall, should I do this crack in my drawers? Like, this is crazy, the stuff that we are seeing and that they're allowing on daytime television. And people, like I told y'all, most people in America are stupid. Most people in America are dumb. Most people in America can't read. Like I said, you can go and look at Baltimore, especially black people. Most black people have low IQ. They don't comprehend what's going on. A lot of black people want to live in a victim mind state. A lot of black people, like I tell y'all, a lot of black people look at white culture and they view it like the Loch Ness Monster. They hear all these stories about the Loch Ness Monster, but they ain't never seen it. Same thing when it comes to white culture and white society. There's a lot of black people that believe X, Y, and Z about the white community and never been around white people, never been in these communities, never been in these meetings, and never heard anything about what goes on in white society. But they have so much to say about it, and they can elaborate about it and tell you what white people do and white people this, but they ain't never been around it. Majority of black people. I still know black people that ain't never left the city of Birmingham. You get 2 miles outside of Birmingham, they start fidgeting, they start feeling weird, and you looking back in the car like, what's going on? I ain't never been this far outside my neighborhood. We talking about 2 days in 2024. I know people that ain't never left their neighborhood, not the city, their neighborhoods. So when we have these conversations, that's why it's easy for them to get over here and bamboozle people like this. It's okay for that. I remember when Biden passed a law giving out free crack pipes. What? Did you know? I think it's in California. Let me look it up from now. Oregon. Hold on. Drugs are legal in Oregon. Yeah, I knew I wasn't tripping. See, this is how crazy we is as a people. This is how crazy we are as people. Let's go here. Damn it, I ain't mean to do that. Yeah, people, Oregon. It's called Measure 110 Explained. Hold on. That is crazy. But like I said, we have people that get on here and be able to talk and say stupid shit like Whoopi Goldberg. Let's see what they say Measure 110 is.
Oregon ranks among the most challenged states in the nation for substance abuse, while being among the worst states for access and engagement with care. That's from a 2019 government report detailing the state's shortcomings in dealing with drug abuse. On November 3rd, Oregon voters will decide on a new and controversial approach to dealing with that problem. Should we decriminalize all drugs? America has been fighting a war on drugs since the early 1970s, when then President Nixon called drug use
America's public enemy number one.
Fast forward to the last decade, and drug use rates have remained mostly unchanged in Oregon. At the same time, a number of places around the world are starting to treat drug use not as a criminal problem, but as a public health issue.
It's crazy how when niggas was asking for the same treatment, we didn't get that. They was throwing our daddies in jail. They was putting our daddies in jail, but now that there's so many white people overdosing on fentanyl, the opioid crisis. Now it's an opioid crisis. You got to get people help. You got to get money for funding and rehab and stuff like that. But when it came to black people, they didn't care nothing about that.
Measure 110 would make Oregon the first state in the U.S. to take this new approach. The measure has two main parts. First, it would create a new $57 million fund meant to pay for new addiction recovery centers around the state. The centers would provide 24/7.
Y'all ever notice when they make these new initiatives or funds or programs, they give a lump sum of money to some shit that we ain't never seen before? They never say, well, we're going to start out with a pilot program and we're going to give maybe $1 million and we're going to look at the metrics and we're going to see how it plays out and see if we can do this on a large scale. It's like, no, we're going to pass this bill and we're going to give them $57 million to do X, Y, and Z. $57 million on something that you never know if it's going to actually work. That's crazy. If you think about it, that's crazy. They just, hey, we're gonna pass this law. We're gonna just give a lump sum money and we're gonna throw it in. But one thing I do know about it is when these people have these nonprofits, you can look this up. Most of your nonprofits can't really do what they're intended to do or their cause to their mission statement, what they designed or set up the nonprofit to do, because most of the money is for operating costs. It's to pay your employers, your building costs, your running costs, the person that started it. It's to actually pay the staff. So after you pay all of the staff, typically it's really no money out there if you're going to go out here and feed children or house women. It's hardly that enough money to do that. That's why most of your nonprofits, when you see them, when you see like the big ones, they always have like a real big government backing, or they deal with children, just like the Boys and Girls Club. Or the YMCA, the YMCA and stuff like that. But for most of the time, when you look up nonprofits, it's typically the money that they get is just for funding the day-to-day operating costs.
7 access to assessment, triage, intervention, and case management. And the money would come from existing taxes on recreational cannabis, some of which would be shifted from schools and existing treatment programs.
And you got to always ask yourself, why are they always taking money from schools to give it to bullshit? Why are y'all legalizing something that y'all still got to go throw money at to help people cure themselves? This is stupid, but y'all keep hearing day in and day out how bad the school systems are, how dumb the children are, how dumb the children can't read. Children are more concerned about if they can cut their Peter whackers and cut their cooches and get double mastectomies more than being able to read Cat in the Hat. This is crazy. You can go out nowadays, you can go ask a 2-year-old what a double mastectomy is. They'll know what that is, but they can't read Cat in the Hat. This is insane.
Second, the measure would change possession of small amounts of controlled substances like cocaine, heroin, and LSD from a misdemeanor to a Class E violation. That means that instead of facing large fines, probation, and potentially jail time, a person caught using drugs would face a $100 fine.
It's all about the money.
Which could be waived if they report to one of the newly created treatment centers for a substance abuse assessment. Just
Substance abuse assessment.
to be clear, manufacturing drugs or possessing with intent to distribute to others would still be a crime, and federal drug laws would still apply.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me if I distribute drugs, still gonna be a crime, but if I take the drugs, it's not a crime. But crack is illegal. Y'all don't sell that in the store. Fentanyl, that typically comes across the border. Meth is not sold in stores. Like, I'm trying to figure out why one would be criminalized and the other not criminalized, because most of these drugs, they're going to get it from a dealer, which is crazy to say.
Why? Though feds rarely get involved with personal possession cases. Supporters of Measure 110 say treating drug use as a medical condition is a more effective and humane approach than putting drug users in jail. A state analysis estimates that convictions for possessing drugs would drop from just over 4,000 in 2019 to less than 400 a year. That's estimated to save the state more than $20 million in the 2021-2023 budget. Some argue this would also help young people avoid a criminal record, which can have knock-on effects for the rest of their lives. Opponents say decriminalizing drugs will remove an important incentive against drug abuse. They argue that many will be able to pay the small fine without seeking treatment, leading to bigger substance problems down the line.
And if y'all have seen how this has played out, they said Seattle has been decimated with drugs. Needles all on the ground. Kids can't even go outside and play. Parents are worried about, actual needles on the ground, crack needles, heroin needles on the ground, and worried about their children picking them up and using them on themselves.
Some argue that an alcohol tax would be a better way to fund treatment centers, and that this measure uses Oregon in
an alcohol tax. And alcohol is one of the worst things people could do drug-wise. Alcohol is the worst thing. Just think about MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and all the people that get killed from drunk driving or liver cancer or ODing or, like alcohol is one of the worst drugs that we have out there. And they keep trying to promote it and push it. Every day you see a liquor store on the corner in the hood, or you see a rapper promoting a new liquor. Alcohol is one of the worst things out there, bar none. And it's crazy that it's crazy. You can go and fight in the military at 18 years old, pick up a gun and go and kill somebody, but you got to wait to 21 to smoke cigarettes and do alcohol. That is crazy.
A larger strategy against the war on drugs, rather than being focused on the best way to help people with substance addictions. A number of governments around the world have tried some version of drug decriminalization, but there's no perfect example that can tell us what the exact impacts would be in Oregon.
Because, bitch, it ain't one. If you got other countries that have done this before, other places around the world, well, tell us what the hell they did. Show us the metrics. That's why I say we have so many places in America and around the world that thought, hey, this is a bright idea. How about we just let people do drugs all willy-nilly? How about we just let everybody be free and do whatever they want to do? No. There has to be some type of checks and balances in life. There has to be some type of law in place, because human nature is kind of like this. You ask for an inch and motherfuckers want to take a mile. It's like, where does it stop? Same thing with a lot of the gay shit and the LGBTQIA. When does it stop? When does it stop? If you have these people in places around the world that has done this already, well, tell us what has happened. What has been the outcome? What can we look at? Give us the paper. Give us the experiments that y'all have used. Give us the demographic of people who do these drugs and what actually happens when you let people have free reign just to do drugs out in the street all willy-nilly. But y'all can't give it to us, and y'all won't give it to us because y'all know these quote-unquote bright ideals that y'all think y'all are bringing up has been time tested and has been proven over generations and generations. There's nothing new under the sun.
We'd be the first state in the US to try. And that means there's a lot of outside interest in this race. The Yes campaign has spent millions of dollars so far. The majority of that money has come from the Drug Policy Alliance, a national organization based in New York.
Drug Policy Alliance. Y'all ever know, like I said, when y'all be hearing this shit, it's always a Drug Policy Alliance. It's always some new initiative. It's always some new nonprofit. It's always some new government agency. These motherfuckers just be popping up everywhere, and they get all of this money. They just pop up and get all of this money. You just gotta ask yourself, how do so many people able to just start some shit and then get this money? Then when you start looking at who's on the board of this, government agency, or who's on the board of this nonprofit, then you find out, hey, this guy is connected to this woman who is Nancy Pelosi's auntie or nephew, or this person is connected to this person who's a senator over here, or he's the governor of this state. It's like, I get it. I understand that sometimes you gotta watch, you look out for me, I look out for you. You got these positions. Hey, put me on the board because that's gonna help me look good in the community. It's gonna help me with my resume. It's gonna help me do what I need to do in life. I get it. But some things, there need to be a line to where we say, well, if you do X, Y, and Z, you can't do this. If you're on the Senate or if you're in Congress, you can't be out here stock trading. You can't be. There's no way that Nancy Pelosi $100 million up and your salary of $75K a year, and you mean to tell me your husband out here is stock trading better? They said this is impossible for somebody to have trades and make the trades that your husband is making. You definitely have to have some type of insider trading.
Along with a large donation from Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. Locally funded opponents have spent far less by comparison. With so much outside attention on this race, whatever voters decide will have an impact not only in Oregon, but also in the larger conversation around drugs in America.
And y'all, I wasn't even going to go there. I just thought about it, and I was like, let me play that, because that's something that we might need to talk about. We might actually need to talk about what is going on with drugs and how they just allowing drugs to run rapid. Like I said, they want Americans to be deaf, dumb, and blind. They really do. They don't care about Americans. They just want to make sure that we can get our fix. And most Americans don't care about what's going on in the world anyway. Most Americans don't care about what's going on in the world anyway. They just want to be able to go to work, pay their bills, and bust their nut. Drink their beer on the weekend and watch a little football, not knowing they got something for your ass coming down this pipeline, and you're gonna be upset. And then when people be like, well, yeah, you didn't compromise. You didn't see X, Y, and Z. You didn't see what was happening, and you're like, nah, I was. You're gonna be like, nah, I didn't see it because I was on the couch watching my favorite player run 2,000 yards and break a record that a nigga gonna break every 2 years anyway. But this is the next time we're gonna walk.
It is now 100% proven that the Biden crime family received more than $20 million from foreign countries while Crooked Joe was vice president, and probably a lot more than that. That's just the money they found. Not one of Joe Biden's defenders has even attempted to explain what Joe and his family did, including his children and his grandchildren. What were they doing getting all of this money? I believe we have a compromised president. He was bribed and now he's being blackmailed. He's a Manchurian candidate.
And we know all of these things are true. That's why they went so hard to cover up everything when it came to this laptop shit. Because if it wasn't true, why y'all had to classify it as Russian disinformation? But let me guess, for 4 years straight, y'all kept trying to put that coat on Donald Trump. It's sad that we have so many people using the government against their political opponents. Y'all are weaponizing the government, and so many black people. And I'm gonna say this: if we're going to talk about history, this is what I do not like about black people. It's the hypocrisy that I see when it comes to black people. I thought we didn't fuck with 12, but y'all the same niggas out here screaming, lock Donald Trump up. I thought we didn't fuck with 12. I thought it was, fuck the police. Ain't that what NWA say? I thought we didn't fuck with the government because what the government did to our families. But when it comes to Donald Trump, y'all, it's a whole nother tune, singing a whole nother tune, a whole nother rhetoric. Lock them up. I thought we had parties from niggas that got locked up and came home. We have more parties for people who go to prison and get out, coming home parties, than we do for people that come home from the military or come home from college that has graduated. That is a fact.
That's why Crooked Joe is letting other countries walk all over the United States. He's afraid to bring it up. He doesn't want to talk about it. He's petrified of China because they know exactly how much money has been given to him, and they know exactly where it is. China has paid him a fortune. Just think of what China has gotten for all that money. Biden shut down my administration's initiative targeting Chinese spies in the United States. He shut it down cold. He let China off the hook for COVID. He shut down the investigation into the origins of the China virus.
And then y'all remember y'all got mad at Trump calling it the China virus. I'm confused why that's bad. We have shit called the bird flu. Didn't that bitch come from a bird? Why we get upset that we got China virus and it came from China? When a car get made in China, we say these are Chinese automakers. But now it was racist because Donald Trump said where it came from. And now after he but not the president, oh, China this, Wuhan lab. Like everybody knew where it came from. For months before it came to America, we was over here watching Chinese people walk down the street, pass out. For months, we was watching China. What the fuck going on in China? Why these motherfuckers over here falling over like they doing a Michael Jackson dance? I hope they don't come over here. For months, we was watching it. I remember, I think it was like October, November before we really, like December 2019, 2020. I think it was like that 2019 from like October-ish, we was watching these videos because I remember watching it. And then right before they shut down, y'all niggas was talking about 5G, 5G, 5G.
He did nothing as China began setting up bases in Cuba, taking over South America, and threatening Taiwan. They even took over the Panama Canal. We spent a fortune building it. Jimmy Carter's administration sold it for $1. We lost 36,000 people building the Panama Canal. The mosquitoes got them, malaria. The mosquitoes got them.
And see, this one nobody take Donald Trump serious. Because he'll say, he's having a serious talking. He's like, yeah, the mosquitoes got him. The mosquitoes got him. And then he's like, oh, malaria. Okay.
And now China controls it. Russia and China are even doing military exercises near the Aleutian Islands, right off the coast of Alaska. And Biden sits back on his hands. He does nothing. This never would have happened if I was president. If they even thought about it, I would have shut it down instantly. There's no way they would have done any of this kind of thing, including Russia invading Ukraine would have never happened. And China wouldn't even be thinking about Taiwan right now. Crooked Joe's corruption is a glaring threat to national security. Between the millions and millions of dollars he's gotten from China and the millions of dollars from Ukraine, Joe Biden's greed and criminality.
And I keep telling y'all, Ukraine. Nah, bro, hey, if you can, hey, this is for my homeboy. Hey, if you can, we're gonna do a podcast Saturday. If you got some chicks that want to come on Saturday, we're gonna do a podcast Saturday.
Is going to get us into World War III. We're going to be in World War III with this guy, grossly incompetent man. Now the corrupt Biden DOJ is continuing the cover-up with the appointment of a special counsel to block further investigation. It's the very same U.S. attorney who cut Hunter Biden the scandalous plea deal that was such a scam it didn't survive the barest scrutiny in court. It was done under what's called blue slip. It wasn't picked in that position by President Trump. It was picked by the Democrat senators in the state. It's called a blue slip. You'll check it out. But they picked him. I didn't pick him. This is corruption like our country has never seen before. That is why as soon as I am reelected, I will appoint a real special counsel, or maybe you'll call it a special prosecutor, whatever you want to call it, you can, to look at all of these bribes, kickbacks, and other crimes, as well as the shameless attempt at a cover-up. Justice will be done. The Biden crime family will be looked at. We have to get there first. We have to win the election. They're trying to step in my way at every path because the one person they don't want to run is Donald Trump. But when we get there, the Biden crime family will pay a price like other people are being forced to pay. And that price will be very, very substantial. It'll be fair. But you know what? If they're guilty, they're going to be guilty. What they are doing to justice in this country has never even been thought of before. Thank you very much.
And like I say, rules for thee, not rules for me. It's getting ridiculous that we're seeing so many people out here mad because Joe Biden. Like I said, I wouldn't be upset at Joe Biden if he just didn't lie. Don't lie to me. We know you finna pardon your son. We know you're not finna let him sit up in no cell, bro. You just not about to do that. So the next thing we're finna talk about, y'all make sure y'all like this video. Y'all make sure y'all share the video too. Next video we finna talk about is this one right here. And the reason we're gonna talk about this is because we have a lot of what they call disinformation tactics that's going on, or we have a lot of censorship that's going on, and we have a lot of government interference. I know they like to talk about Elon Musk buying Twitter and him giving the Republicans a place to speak and all of this other type of stuff. But let's be real. And I keep saying this, both sides do it. Both sides do it. I just don't like that Democrats try to have and play the moral high ground when it comes to y'all doing the same BS that I'm about to do. Shut the fuck up and let me do what you was doing. It's like being in a relationship. Your bitch go out here and cheat, and now she want to be like, oh, you ain't no good because you cheating. Bitch, you were just cheating 2 days ago. Why can't you were just cheating 2 days ago, and now you see that my bitch a little bit better and I leveled up more than you did when you was out here cheating with that nigga. Now that's the issue. Yeah, that motherfucker tight, ain't it? Ass fat, sitting a little bit fatter, a little bit nicer, ain't it? Titties a little bit perkier than you. Yeah, we finna go out on time and have a good time. I'm just doing the same thing you did, but I'm doing it better. Don't be crying. Go in there and do like I did. When you was out here cheating and I found out you was out here cheating, you know what I did? I went in the bathroom, I turned on the shower, and I cried in the shower, and I act like I didn't even know you was cheating. You do the same. You need to give me the same respect. Go in there, turn on you some slow music, turn the shower on, and slide down the wall in the shower with some tears, and let me go out here and do what I'm supposed to do. But anyway, we're finna talk about Mark Zuckerberg. Now, if y'all ain't never seen this video, this is an old video. This is an old video. And the reason we're bringing this video back up is because there's a lot of censorship going on. And the reason we're bringing it up because that's how a lot of this Hunter Biden stuff came to fruition. And a lot of people didn't know that this was going on. Now, what we're about to watch is Mark Zuckerberg talking to Joe Rogan and telling us that, hey, the feds came to me and told me to basically suppress what was going on when it came to Hunter Biden laptop.
Like there was a lot of attention on Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York Post.
We have that too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
So we took a different path than Twitter. I mean, basically the background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us some folks on our team. It was like, hey, just so you know, like you should be on high alert.
Now, there should not be any time that the FBI comes to anybody who owns a social media platform and tell them what they should be able to promote or show on their social media platform unless it's breaking the law. Point blank, period. That's the only time that this should happen. This goes back to when Candace Owens got on the Breakfast Club and told them stupid motherfuckers and everybody should have noticed by now that the CIA has a hand in Hollywood, and so much so that they promote and pay for certain movies to be promoted and to be seen in theaters to program your mindset. They were like flabbergasted. What? The CIA? Yes, the CIA. The government is persuading us and using a lot of propaganda, telling us what we can and cannot consume. So much so, like I told y'all, they are okay with your children knowing your 2-year-old girl knowing what a double mastectomy is instead of knowing what Cat in the Hat is. They're okay with a boy cutting his Peter Wagger off and knowing what dilating means and what having to dilate means, and then instead of knowing what Cat in the Hat is.
We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there.
And JBO, that is sad. JBO said my old YouTube account got deleted because I commented on Hunter's laptop. You done blocked it. That's crazy. But yeah, that is crazy. And there's so many people who got blocked or tagged. I remember I got flagged on Facebook, especially Facebook, for saying anything about that damn laptop that came out to be true.
There's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant. So our protocol is different from Twitter's. What Twitter did is they said you can't share this at all.
We're better than Twitter because Twitter, that's your competition. So now you're trying to act like you're going to take the moral high ground once again. We have somebody trying to take it wasn't as bad as Twitter. They said you couldn't do it at all. What we did was we just slightly throttled down the veracity of the post so you couldn't see it. We just gave it a little shadow band.
We didn't do that. What we do is we have if something is reported to us as potentially misinformation, important misinformation, we also have this third-party fact-checking program.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all like the video. Y'all make sure y'all share the video. Yeah, my phone about to die.
So we don't want to be deciding what's true and false. And for I think it was 5 or 7 days when it was basically being determined whether it was false, the distribution on Facebook was decreased, but people were still allowed to share it. So you could still share it, you could still consume it.
So when you say the distribution is decreased,
it got shared.
How does that work?
It basically, the ranking in newsfeed was a little bit less. So fewer people saw it than would have otherwise. So it definitely.
By what percentage?
I don't know off the top of my.
He know the percentage.
Head, but it's.
And everybody know people like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. I can't think of the other guy that was over Twitter before Elon Musk. These guys operate in numbers and how often people see click rates and views and things like that. Numbers matter on these platforms. So trust me, he knows how much they were throttling down this post.
It's meaningful, but basically a lot of people were still able to share it. We got a lot of complaints that was the case.
And then y'all remember around this time, they were saying if you shared it, even in your DMs, they was going in people's DMs. And if y'all was sharing the DMs, they was going to block your account. Now, my DMs is supposed to be private. Do y'all remember that? My DMs is supposed to be private. It's not like I'm sharing it on my public page where everybody can see. If I got 10,000 followers, no, just me and this person or me and my close friends are sharing it. But they were saying they was going to go in your inbox, and they found if you shared it in your inbox, they were going to delete your chat, your Facebook page.
Obviously this is a hyper political issue. So depending on what side of the political spectrum, you either think we didn't censor it enough or censored it way too much. But we weren't sort of as black and white.
Like there was a lot of attention on Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York
we
Post.
had that too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
So we took a different path than Twitter. Basically the background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, like you should be on high alert. We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant. So our protocol is different from Twitter's. What Twitter did is they said you can't share this at all. We didn't do that. What we do is we have, if something is reported to us as potentially misinformation, important misinformation, we also have this third-party fact-checking program because we don't want to be deciding what's true and false. And for I think it was 5 or 7 days when it was basically being determined whether it was.
And like I said, this is coming from the owner, the CEO of a company, telling us that the FBI has enough control that can tell y'all what y'all can and cannot put on social media. This is crazy. I'm glad when Elon Musk got on that stage when he did the interview last year, I think it was last year, and he said, if advertisers I think they're going to throw money, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. How does Elon Musk have the confidence to say something like this? And Donald Trump wasn't the president at this time. Do y'all understand? Like, this is some real shit. We can talk about a lot of people, but Elon Musk really got some real power. And I ain't talking about because he got money and like this. This man putting rockets in the air. You just think about if you piss Elon Musk off the wrong way. He just say, fuck it. Today I'm just scorched earth. One of these rockets gonna come back down and it ain't gonna get caught by nothing. Just think about it. Just like it's like people like people in coverage be talking crazy about Elon Musk. It's like, bitch, I got satellites. Like, I can literally shoot a laser at your house and burn you up, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Why do you think you are able to talk about me like this? Yep, Elon exposed them. Had to fire the CIA correspondent. But just think about this. I'm the nigga putting satellites in the sky, and you mean to tell me you think you safe to just be talking about me like this? Like I just want to just make a laser beam to come and shoot your house up. This just don't make this. It's not good to have conversations like about certain people who are evil geniuses. And I ain't saying you got to be scared. It's just like people say stuff so flip and loose at the mouth to where they just don't. I don't think they really grasp what they're saying or who they're saying it about. That's crazy. That's crazy. So the next thing we finna talk about this right here. And the reason, like I said, there's a lot of stuff we got to talk about. And the reason we're talking about South Korea and martial law, it's because South Korea is implementing martial law because now they don't want people over there, journalists and stuff, who seem to be favorable to North Korea. So let's watch what they had to say about them.
The South Korean president declaring martial law in a late-night TV address. CNN's Mike Valerio joining us now from Seoul. Mike, I know the detail pretty sketchy at this point. What do we know?
Well, we have disturbing details that are just crossing the Reuters wire, Becky, as our colleagues and team of journalists are sorting through what this means. Reuters reporting at this hour that all media in South Korea are coming under the control of martial law command in South Korea. What that means for us here at CNN, unclear. Our bureau is broadcasting from the heart of Seoul, South Korea. But protesters, according to information that is just coming into our bureau here, are being told by law enforcement that they can be arrested without any warrant in this new chapter of martial law that has begun just about an hour and a half ago. So to bring our viewers up to speed, what exactly we're dealing with here, the president of South Korea, Yoon Suk-yeol, comes on TV in an unannounced address to the nation and says, Becky, because of what he described as elements of government that are, from his view, sympathetic to North Korea, to communist forces, because of those things and others, he is declaring martial law for the...
Hold on. He upset about communist things, but he gonna declare martial law? That's real dictatorish of you.
First time since this country has been ruled by military dictatorship in the 1980s. Now, we are trying to sort through what this means for democracy in this bastion of democratic rule in East Asia. I live about just a couple minutes away from where we're broadcasting from. There are police, Becky, who are on their phones, calling their captains, calling their colleagues, asking, what are they to do? What does this mean? What is going on in the building that I live in? And when you're just walking through the streets, there are people who are running to their families' homes to be with them, to figure out what to do to be close to loved ones in this moment that is unprecedented in so many of our memories. So Yoon Suk-yeol, the president of South Korea, did not lay out what specifically he wants to do with these martial law provisions. We're waiting for some sort of text that outlines what powers he says he will have. But from the information that is trickling out, the leader of the Democratic opposition party, Lee Jae-myung, is saying, there's no way this can fly. And paraphrasing what he's saying as we're taking in all this information, Becky. This is an illegal move, Lee Jae-myung, the opposition leader, says, and this has to be canceled. So lawmakers are streaming to Parliament, but we are also seeing reports of activity at Parliament being declared illegal as well because of these martial law regulations that apparently have come into effect. So to say that this is unsettling would absolutely be the understatement of the evening here at 11:42 p.m. local time on a Tuesday night. There are whole multitudes of people across the city who are stunned and are trying to figure out how an unpopular president made this move and what is going to happen next and what this means for democracy here in South Korea, Becky.
Give me that Becky. I'm on that liquor. Oh, so heavy. Oh, I should have said that. What JBL said, North Korea has been reinforcing the border since they started giving Russia troops. Like I said, you got to understand, everything that's going on now is we're literally gearing up for World War III. Everything that's going on. Biden, them sending money to Ukraine, because you gotta be real. Ukraine was supposed to be taken over. If America wasn't using Ukraine to launder money, it would have been taken over. That's really what America is doing. They sending billions of dollars over there to launder money. Because I keep telling y'all, Putin is not just going to end this war. He's going for broke. And you got to understand, it's so many. This is some real shit. If Russia wanted to cause World War III, they had so many reasons to do it because America and NATO said so many times they wasn't going to come closer to Russia and invade lands closer to Russia, and they did it anyways, or put more people in NATO. But they did it anyway. After they signed treaties, I think back in like the 1990s, late 80s, said they wouldn't put anybody else in NATO, but they did. and they violated all these treaties. Even so much so now they're helping Ukraine and giving them missiles, American-made missiles, and they already said that Americans literally have to shoot these missiles because in Ukraine they don't have the technology to shoot these missiles over there. Everything you are seeing right now is gearing up for World War III. This is what a lot of people want. Your elitists want. Your globalists want. They want to tear this bitch down. I just watched a video. JBO said Putin has to take Trump's deal. Last week, their money dropped 15 cents. Money don't mean that if I'm going to drop a nuclear bomb on you. Putin already said I'm willing to use a nuclear bomb. So, yeah, I can go for scorched earth. Like I said, y'all keep playing with me, and y'all done did a whole bunch of bullshit to me since the early 90s, and I just letting it slide. And now y'all are letting Ukraine use missiles over some land that's already mine. Granted, the land was already mine. And so now I'm all of a sudden supposed to just stop? No. I'm willing to, hey, if you help them out, I'm ready. I got a red button and I'm ready to use it. I'm ready to crash out. We all go out this bitch tonight. So it don't matter how much their money drop. If I feel slighted in a way, I'm just gonna let it happen. And like I said, I don't want to go to no World War III. I don't think we should be doing any of this stuff that we got going on. I think a lot of times America need to stay out of a lot of the foreign things that are going on as well too. But it seems like we gotta put ourselves in a lot of this bullshit that's going on around the world, which is not cool. Which is not cool. Oh, I'm gonna adjust my camera. I gotta stand up. My knees hurt. That's the next thing. I would want to think that nobody would get nuked over Ukraine, but Russia really wants Ukraine, right? And you done lost so many people's lives have already been lost just to fight for that land. It's like I can't really go back off of that land. I can't really just back up off of Ukraine now because I already initiated and so many people have lost their lives. So many people have lost their lives, so I can't just really go back off of it. Hold on.
Confirms that more than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States. The letter here tells the tale. Hello, I'm John Roberts in Washington. You believe this, Sandra?
Which means they are here. And this is just an unbelievable development. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. Good to be with you, John. This is America Reports. Let's get right to Bill Malugin. He's got this news for us. He's live out of Douglas, Arizona right now, where Vice President Kamala Harris is set to visit later this afternoon. Bill, the details of this news, what do you have?
Yeah, and Sandra, bear with me. We just got these numbers moments ago, but it's a jaw dropper to say the least. So to set the stage here, let me just explain what these numbers mean.
So this is what I want to say. Do y'all see the people that's crossing this border and how they got new clothes on? Like these are supposed to be support people, but all their clothes that they got on looks very new. This isn't a war of necessity for Russia. Putin invaded to steal their money, so it would end bad for him. We'll see. Like I said, I just can't see him going back out for Ukraine, something that he's been wanting for so long. And like I said, Ukraine would have been rolled over a long time if America wasn't helping him.
The letter here tells the tale. Hello, I'm John Roberts in Washington. You believe this, Sandra?
Which means they are here. And this is just an unbelievable development. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. Good to be with you, John. This is America Reports. Let's get right to Bill Malugin. He's got this news for us. He's live out of Douglas, Arizona right now, where Vice President Kamala Harris is set to visit later this afternoon. Bill, the details of this news, what do you have?
Yeah, and Sandra, bear with me. We just got these numbers moments ago, but it's a jaw dropper to say the least. So to set the stage here, let me just explain what these numbers mean. ICE has something called a non-detained docket. Essentially what that is it means migrants who were encountered by DHS but are no longer in federal custody. So who's on this non-detained docket? It's illegal immigrants who were caught and released at the border, released with the court date years away. They're in immigration proceedings, combined with illegal immigrants who have already been ordered deported from the country by a judge but are still here roaming the country. So keep that in mind, this non-detained docket. According to a letter that the acting director of ICE just sent to Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez, on ICE's non-detained docket, they're currently tracking 425,000 non-citizens who have been convicted of a crime. Of that number,
that is crazy that we got almost 500,000 people released into our country to wreak havoc. I just did a Laken Riley trial last week. It's sad that so many of these illegals come over here and just do whatever they want to do, and they get released right back into society.
Over 13,000 non-citizens have convictions for homicide and are on the non-detained docket, meaning they're roaming the country right now. On top of that, there are another 15,811 non-citizens convicted of sexual assault.
That's crazy. But like I said, we know America, and we know human trafficking and sexual deviancy is a $1 billion industry. We know it's a $1 billion industry. That's why they allow so many people to that have the sexual assault or been convicted to run rushshot over America. That's why when people get arrested like Diddy, you be like, oh, wow. Your Harvey Weinsteins and your Epsteins. America loves sexual deviancy. That's why they put sex in your face so much. That's why they're okay with kids talking about sexuality and dilating and cutting their dicks off and stuff.
Country right now on ICE's non-detained docket. It doesn't stop there. Those are convictions. The ICE director also says there are currently just under 1,900 non-citizens on the non-detained docket who have pending homicide charges, who are...
Y'all remember they had a debate and Trump said, yeah, the coyotes was coming across the board and everybody was like, coyote. And they were so like, you know, us, the black people, they thought it was so funny. And you seen a whole bunch of people making memes and shit. But that's really what they call them, the coyotes was crossing the border. Now, everything, I told y'all, everything that man said before he got out of office was going to come true. The border was going to be flooded, true. The groceries going to go up, true. The taxes going to go up, true. Gas was going to go up, true. Crime was going to go up, true. Like, these are the things that he was saying before he got out of office was going to happen, and it happened under Democratic leadership.
Roaming the country, and another 4,250 non-citizens who have pending sexual assault charges who are roaming the country on the non-detained docket. So people's eyes might be glazing over right now with all the numbers we just threw at you. Just to put it in a nutshell right here, what we've learned from the acting ICE director via this letter to Congressman Tony Gonzalez is right now.
See, look at all these. This is what I don't get. These are supposed to be poor people that in trouble all these miles. So they tell us they travel thousands of miles, 700 miles, 500 miles. How the fuck they clothes so damn clean? Their shoes ain't even got no creases in it. They shoes that I'm being honest with y'all. I don't like. They couldn't have walked. A lot of these people are transported. We already know about the planes and getting landed in sanctuary cities from Mexico to some cities in America. But these are people that are shown walking. These clothes do not look raggedy. They do not toe up. These look like a lot of your designer clothing from America. Look at all this. It's so many white piece of clothing in this photo that looks so white and pristine, like they just ripped it out the plastic. I've been acting brand new. Finna throw it on, finna cross the border too. Ooh, finna cross the border too. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't get it. You got this man right here with a crossbody on.
there are over 13,000 illegal aliens convicted of homicide who are roaming the United States right now. There are another 15,811 illegal aliens roaming the country right now who have been convicted of sexual assault. And there are even more who are facing charges for homicide and charges for sexual assault. So this just goes to show, guys, the non-detained docket has exploded under the Biden administration to over, I believe it's 7.3 million. They're anticipating it could hit 8 million by the end of the year. But looking at the numbers on this letter right here, there are currently over 600,000 non-citizens on ICE's non-detained docket who are either convicted, or 600,000 non-citizens on this non-detained docket who are roaming the country right now. Of that, 425,000 have already been convicted of crimes. 222,000 are pending crimes. And again, the most serious crimes we just told you about.
Like I tell y'all, be safe out here. Keep your head on the swivel. The Asians and East Europeans fly to Mexico and come in. They're actually coming through Canada now too. So Trump will tax them. I seen that he talking about that 25% tax, and it seemed like the lady in Mexico and Justin or Trudeau seemed like they want to get some act right. Because I seen that Mark Zuckerberg was supposed to have a meeting with Trump last week at Mar-a-Lago, and I seen that Justin Trudeau was supposed to have a meeting last week with Trump in Mar-a-Lago. So, like I said, if they don't want to act right, people know he know how to get them right. He know how to get them right. Like I said, that's the thing people got to understand. When you got the right people in leadership and the right people that commands respect, no matter what they do in media, when you got people like Iran say they finna have a ceasefire because they know that Donald Trump done won now, you got to ask yourself, why is that? When I say I'm finna put a 25% tax on Mexico and Canada, and you telling me, hey, Canada may not survive because our economy is fickle. Well, bitch, why you letting all these people in our country and thinking it's okay? Like I'm not gonna do something about it. Like they said, Trump said, well, if y'all can't handle it and can't survive without doing underhanded tactics to survive, how about y'all become the 51st state and you just be the governor? So the last thing I want to talk about today before I get up out of here is this right here. We're going to talk about this right here. We're going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about these kids stealing out of these stores. I agree.
Yo.
Can we talk about the amount of videos? Have y'all seen the rise and the amount of videos that's been circulating the internet of these flash mobs? I guess what they call flash mobs or thieving gangs, where you have a lot of these teenagers breaking in and stealing 20, 30 people at a time, going in these stores and stealing a whole bunch of stuff. Have y'all been seeing those, the rise of those videos? It's crazy that we have so much lawlessness in America and we allow this to go on. This is not what America's supposed to look like. Now these are people trying to shop for tennis shoes and that with their families, and you see people coming here with ski masks and stuff. This can be very terrifying because now you don't know they're gonna come out with guns and try to rob you while they rob in the store. You don't know they're gonna say, "Give me your wedding ring, give me your watch, give me your purse."
Y'all all ghetto as fuck. We can't have shit over here.
You hear the lady in the background. She sounds like she ghetto as fuck too. Because how you okay with saying something like this to a person that's robbing the store? What if they would have slapped you? Now, granted, a lot of niggas can't have shit in niggas' societies or environments and communities. I agree. But at the same time, baby, this ain't the time for you to say nothing because you could have got slapped up real quick. Then you'd have been feeling like, why he slapped me? Well, you shouldn't have said nothing, bitch. Let me still in peace.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna happen when I was y'all all ghetto as fuck. You can't have shit over here.
Looking. Yeah.
Shit on him. Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna happen when I was.
This is what America has come to. This is what America has come to. Biden on the president to purposely hurt the country is mind-blowing. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I don't think he was ever there to help the American people at all. And it's so sad. Y'all gotta ask yourself, where did 20 million voters go? Why did 20 million people just not show up for Kamala? You mean to tell me y'all really now we got the people on the other side saying, well, it does look kind of suspect that all of a sudden Joe Biden would be the most voted president or get the most votes of all time. You mean the nigga that stayed in the house the whole time? That makes no sense. I don't think it was that many people that hated Donald Trump to even get out their bed to go and vote against Donald Trump. But this is how we're living right now. This is 2024 in America, 2025. Hopefully it'll get greater. Hopefully y'all are doing some investing because the stock market is moving. I hope y'all come up on some good stocks, especially in the crypto market. The crypto market, I feel like, is going to help a lot of people get rich in 2025 until Trump is out of office. So you need to take advantage of those things. Those crypto market, I think they're going to go boom. No, not bust. Things are gonna go boom. I think the stock market, and I think people are feeling relieved that we have a different type of president in the White House. Even the crazy liberals, a lot of them feeling relieved because they know Kamala's going to destroy this country. Everybody know that the Democrats are finna ready to destroy this country. That's gonna put 20 more million people in here, and they was gonna take the black jobs. They were going to take all the black jobs. Y'all was mad about Trump saying it. The migrants, the first people they were going to affect first was the black people. They're going to take all the black jobs. So I just want to tell y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 12 o'clock. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell because YouTube has been doing some bullshit. They keep telling me that a lot of people ain't hitting the notification bell on my subscribers, and they said they don't have notifications on their phone. So you have to hit the notification bell on YouTube, and then on your phone, turn on your notifications on your phone to get my notifications when I go live. That's what they tell me. Now I'm just listening to what they say. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what they tell me. But I'm just telling y'all. That nigga said stealing Nikes is okay. But I'm just telling y'all, make sure y'all are always here at 12 o'clock during the day. I'm going to try to go live even more. Go follow me on Rumble. We're going to start reviewing fight videos. It's a bunch of fight videos I want to start just reviewing over there. And I think it'll be fun because, Rumble will let you do a YouTube. I don't know. They've been a little bit lenient. I will say that YouTube been a little bit more lenient with the content and what you say. They ain't been policing as hard as they used to. I will give them that. But for the most part, for the good stuff, for the stuff where I could be my true, authentic self, you need to go to Rumble. Make sure you like Rumble. And I like Rumble because they send an email and a notification now when people go live. That's one thing I love about Rumble. So it's the New Normal Podcast, and we're going. Peace.